Again, this is activity 2.1.2, mass properties analysis, and we are to our last model that we have to draw. It's called pipe support. So for this model, we are going to use a different unit, and that's in millimeters. So select millimeter and then click OK. And then start with a new component and name the component pipe support. Click OK. And let's create a new sketch. And this time from the top plane. So select the 2-point rectangle, and then from the origin, draw one rectangle. And then draw another rectangle starting from the left corner, and then somewhere in the middle draw another rectangle. Now let's dimension. So the depth, the total depth is 50 millimeters. So click there and then type 50 millimeters. And then the depth of this back part here is 15 millimeters. So click 15 millimeters. And this rectangle right here should be, okay, here's the dimension. So from this surface to the back is 46. So from here to the back is 46. Okay, let's press escape and let's just organize our dimensions. So I got 3 dimensions for the depth, and these are the ones that we need. So let's continue with the dimension. This time let's focus on the length. The length, the total or the overall length is 100. Click 100. And then the next dimension that you see here would be, to get the dimension of this, looks like we need the hole. Okay, so let's add 2 holes. Let's add one here and add one here. Let's add 2 circles, I meant. Okay, so the dimension from this edge to the center of the circle is 15, as shown here. So 15, and then from the center of this circle to this rectangle is as well 15. So there to here is 15 as well. And that means you will have the same dimension on the other side. Okay, so we could do that. So click 15 and then 15. So as you can see, all of our rectangles are fully constrained. We just need the circles now. So the dimension of the circle is, it says here, diameter is 12 millimeters for both holes, for 2 holes. So let's dimension again. So this one should be 12. And then we need to identify the position of the circle. So from the front edge to the center of the circle, it's 15. 15, and that looks like it's fully constrained that circle. So let me press escape and just arrange my dimensions so that the leader line does not cross the dimension here. Okay, so we just need to use, let's use the equal sign in order to copy the dimension of the circle to this circle. Okay, they're of the same size now, and then we could use the horizontal constraint to click on the center of that circle and the center of the circle so that they line up horizontally. So now all of our shapes are fully constrained. So we now click Finish Sketch and the Home button, and now we could start extruding. So let's click Extrude, and as you can see, this part here at the back and this rectangular shape right here is of the same height and it's 65 millimeters. So I'll select this and pull it up and change the distance to 65 millimeters. Click OK. All right. Now this part here at the bottom goes up by, let's see where that height is. It goes up by 15 millimeters. So for this, let's click on the component, the arrow down for the component, and let's turn on sketch 1 because it's hidden right now. And we want to extrude this part up minus the circles and say it's 15, right? Okay, so 15. And we could turn off the sketch after that. All right, there you go. Next, we could cut this channel that goes through the middle. So let's create a new sketch here in the front. Let's draw a circle and also draw a rectangle. So I'm just going to line up my rectangle from the center of that circle just to help with constraining it a little bit. And now up to the top edge. Okay. So now let's dimension the circle first. So dimension it says here the radius of this arc is 12, and I'm dimensioning a full circle in my drawing. So instead of using the radius, we're using the diameter. So times 2 of the radius is the diameter. So it should be 24. All right. And then from the center of my circle down to this surface is 25. So from here to there is 25. And then let's use the tangent to line up the edges of the rectangle to our circle. So click there, click the circle again, and click on this other side. And then now, as you can see, my lines are tangent to the circle. All right, I guess the last thing that we need is to make sure that this is at the very center. So to do that, I'm going to draw a construction line. So I click on line and I click on construction, and then I move my, so let me zoom in. So I move my cursor here in this line, and as soon as I get that triangle, that means I have the midpoint. So I click and then I drag up. Okay, and keeping it vertical. Oh, let me do that again. So click and then drag up, keeping it vertical, and then click once more. All right, so now I'm just going to use another constraint, and I'm going to use coincident. I want this point coincident to the center line that I just created. As you can see, everything now is fully constrained. So I finish sketch, click home, and now I could cut through. So distance is through all, and then it's cut, and then I click OK. Okay, so I still need to add those circles. So I have to create a sketch here, draw a circle with a diameter of, okay, diameter is 10, so 10, and then the distance from this front edge to the center of the circle is 15. So from this front edge to the center is 15. And then also from the center of the circle to the top edge is 15 as well. So from the top to here is also 15. And as you can see, the circle is now fully constrained. So I could extrude this circle and through all, and it's gonna cut, so click OK. All right, the last thing now are the fillets. So it says here, note, all fillets, all 4 of them, 1, 2, 3, 4, has a radius of 15 millimeters. So let's Let's click on fillet. Let's select all the edges. 1, 2, 3, 4. So these are the edges that needs to be filleted, and the fillet radius is 15. Click OK. And the next thing is the chamfer, and the chamfers are 45 degrees or they're 15 by 15. So let's select chamfer and select this 2 edges, and then we're going to use equal distance because it's 15 by 15. So 15 by 15, click OK. All right, we're done with the actual model. So let's hit save and let's name this pipe support. And then let's change the model material to soft yellow brass. So let's click on, or let's right click on pipe support and select physical material. Let's go back to metal, and then let's scroll down to brass. Click and drag it to the model. Close the dialog box. And now let's take a look at the properties and see what the physical properties are for this object. All right, so there you go. We got the mass, the volume, the density, the area, and then the center of mass. Let's hit close and let's hit save.